Welcome back, everybody. It is time now for our Morning Cup of Joe with Metro Sheriff Joe Lombardo. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you once. Good to see you once again. So let's talk about something that was in the news yesterday. MGM Resorts announced its plans for the Route 91 festival grounds right across from Mandalay Bay, obviously where the 1 October shooting was. The company plans to have a community center. They're going to have some parking there. There are some other plans, but there were earlier plans of possibly Metro having a SWAT command center on that site. Where do things stand with that?
Well, obviously by their announcement, that's null and void, I guess. But, you know, we had some preliminary conversations with MGM, reference that, because they were spitballing ideas of what to do there in that facility. So they have a K-9 program with the hotels in totality, and we have a K-9 program. So we talked about maybe pairing the K-9 teams. They were going to supply a facility because they were going to stand up a new facility. And that fell through because they ended up pushing up on West Russell Road. And then the idea was brought forward to move SWAT into there. SWAT is not in need of a home. They have a home. We're at the North Las Vegas Airport, and they decided to reallocate those ideas or funds to something more amenable to their business model. But with that being said, they also acquiesced to us, or not acquiesced, that's the wrong word. They gave us the ability to house our bike patrol squads within the former Mandarin Hotel. So in the lower parking garage there, they built out a complete substation for us, and we house all our bike patrol equipment, and that's where the officers meet and conduct their briefings and do what they do.
So there won't be a Metro footprint on the Route 91 side after all?
No.
Okay. Okay.
It's unfortunate, but that's business.
Yeah. Sheriff, another thing we've been talking a lot about is Storm Area 51, just a few weeks away. They're preparing for maybe millions of people, maybe nobody. How is Metro helping the county, Lincoln County, prepare
I think that's the big question, millions or not, right? And that's troublesome for us, especially when we're trying to prepare for an event. So as a matter of practice, we reach out to Lincoln and Nye County both, because we don't know which place they're going to end up showing up at. It's unfortunate that it bifurcates to two different counties, but we're going to help them. They're not used to these type of large events. We still don't know if it's going to be a large event, but if it is, they don't have the resources to provide the safety that's required for these type of events, especially in today's environment. What we see going across the nation, and you mentioned 1 October, we hate to have a repeat of something of that magnitude. So we're going to have to divvy up our resources a little bit, and we're going to provide, it'll mostly be manpower. In that aspect, we do have some logistics resources we can help them with, as far as communications. You know, cell service doesn't work out there. Yeah. Radio systems are going to have problems, so we're going to reach out and help them. Now, the state and the Department of Emergency Management is going to supply help also. So with that in mind, taxpayers quite often say, hey, I live in Clark County, I pay for cops in Clark County, why are you doing this, Sheriff? Well, we got to help our fellow law enforcement officials and community members, but the state, via the federal government, I anticipate requests for reimbursement.
For grants or whatever the case may be.
Absolutely.
Well, Sheriff, another case that we've covered recently is the case of Connor Climo. He's a suspected white supremacist accused of plotting terror attacks here in the Valley. I guess that brings up a question of what other organizations like that, or are there a lot of racist organizations like that in our area, and how does Metro keep an eye on that activity? We also saw the case of the Aryan Warriors, those busts from the DEA.
Right. And I wouldn't use the word a lot. Obviously, there are some individuals that we keep our eyes on, but any immediate threats or concerns immediately, no. But those are the type of concerns that we deal with on a daily basis in the law enforcement community, and more often than not in previous years, especially what you've seen in the last few weeks. Hopefully you would say the last few years, but now it's the last few weeks, and what we're dealing with in society and law enforcement. So we do the best we can to rely on people's help, you know, to see something, say something. And those individuals that just don't seem right, it's worth a phone call to us so we can do the evaluation the way it should be done. But to provide you some comfort, we're not aware of any immediate threats here the Las Vegas Valley.
Right. Well, Sheriff Lombardo, thank you for joining us this morning. If you have a question for Sheriff Joe Lombardo, you can submit it, of course, on our website, 8newsnow.com. You can find out if your question was answered every Wednesday.
Yeah.